What's the matter? What's the matter? You've got this perplexed expression on your face. You seem confused. Is something not going how you expected it to? Hold on. I'll bring you to where you need to go. Boo. Did I alarm you? Sorry. That wasn't my intention. Or was it? If you need some time to recollect yourself, I won't hold it against you. After all, it is a completely natural reaction being scared. It's my pleasure to make your dearest acquaintance. As you can see, I am a ghost. And not just any ordinary ghost. I am the legendary immoral spirit hunter, Hoon. You haven't heard of me because if you did, it would usually mean you did something quite grievous. Or maybe you're stuck in purgatory and are in desperate need of a guy. Normally, those would be the only reasons why you might know me. However, as of today, there is a third reason. はじめまして皆さん。それは私のHoonです. 안녕하세요 여러분. 저는 유령 사냥꾼 Hoon입니다. I know we just met, but I bet you have plenty of questions for me. I ask that you hold on to your questions, or I will get to them later in the stream. Before we go any further, I wanted to let you know a bit more about me. I was once a normal living student, like any of you are or were. But now I'm an apparition. As you already know. I was resurrected in the very high school I used to attend. And although I don't get out much, I do sometimes leave the school to do what I have to. Lucky for me, I tend to be a fast and efficient worker. I know that sounded like I was applying for a job. But I can assure you, I am not. The school has become a sort of makeshift home for me. It's quite a nice school, actually. It's been remodeled plenty of times. It's spacious. All the equipment is up to date. And there's enough room for all my stuff without people ever suspecting a thing. Basically, I've made a special room for myself in the school over the years. Hidden by very thick wall. I don't need to use doors. So this means that only I could even access this room. In my room, I have my figure collection, my bed, my wardrobe, my desk, a recording equipment, and of course, my computer. I know what you guys might be thinking. Hoon, how did you acquire such things? Let me let you in on a little secret. I have been. How should I put this? Borrowing funds from the school over the past few decades. You see, when you're a ghost like me, passwords aren't necessarily as secure as you might think. No, I'm not referring to you guys' passwords. Just the passwords that are related to this school. Relax. I cover my tracks by writing my purchases off as educational necessities. I also mask the purchases that seem unrelated to the school as something else entirely. Also, I take things here and there. Nothing that the school admits, of course. Look, I never said I was a saint. However, I am sure to get tax rebates back to the school. So that's something, right? If I could pay back the school better, I definitely would. In addition, I do get paid to ghost hunt, but it's not like I'm being paid in the same currency as the world of the living. Trust me. The things that I can purchase aren't things like computers or microphones, or more importantly, figures. At this point, you might have noticed how I haven't mentioned the name of the school. And I'm only referring to the school generally. No duh, detective. I'm not going to dox myself. And I don't plan to either. Although, if you must know, this school is somewhere here in Korea. That's all you're getting out of me. I should also mention, I get bored from time to time. And I may may not have a problem with serial pranking. I prank the students and staff mostly at night. As you would imagine, though, exorcists have been called in to deal with the school's ghost problem. Not to worry. They can't hurt me because I'm not a vengeful spirit. Instead, I find them to be pretty annoying. So I deal with them by messing with them. You know, I might speak utter nonsense when they're reciting some gibberish, or even erasing their weird markings with my foot or something. There are just some fares. I thought I ought to let you know. Before I start my slides that I prepared for you guys today. Well then, let's get to the slides now. Gehenna. Now, I should probably preface. I'm not of any royal blood, and technically, I'm not a prince. But it's got a nice ring to it, right? So, I'd be crazy to turn down any sort of royal title if I ever were to be given the chance, right? As for my profile, you already know me as Hoon. But did you know that in Korean, my name is still Hoon. All jokes aside, in Japanese, it's actually pronounced Hoon. As for my roles, you already know that I am legendary, immoral spirit hunter, and an official guide in purgatory. As for my age, well, let's say since I've kicked the bucket sometime in my last year of high school, technically that would make me physically 18. But as for my actual age, I'm not too sure. You see, when I was resurrected, I wasn't technically resurrected with all of my memories of my past. So I remember something, but it's kind of like a scattered dream. But what I do remember is my birthday, which is May 31st. As for my height, I am 178 centimeters. Which, if you must know, roughly translates to 5'10". As for languages, I am a native English speaker. I'm pretty fluent in Korean, and I want to learn Japanese. Also, it's not important, but I maybe a bit of a perfectionist. Just a little. It's really not important. Moving on. As for my backstory. There was once a student who roamed amongst the living. As fate would have it, that student wasn't meant for the world for much longer. Some students finish high school and move on to the next chapters of their life. However, this was no average student. On Halloween, in his final year, he met a tragic end. For a while, he stayed dead, with no more signs of life. That was until judgment was set upon him. He had been wrongfully robbed of a normal life, with no prior offenses. The Committee of Souls had decided he was to become a special kind of spirit hunter. They had handed him a few tools, and since then, I've been watching him from a distance. In the midst of these tools, there's the soul piercer, the umbra sealer, the ethereal compass, and finally, the eye of conclusion. Although he does not get in close contact with the committee, he is still well informed on what he must do. This also gives him a lot of freedom. Do as he pleases, without much interference on how he uses his time. Nevertheless, a part of him still yearns to know who he was. What he strived to do. When he was alive. Where his ambitions would have taken him. And why would someone choose him to be a ritualistic sacrifice? Now, I just briefly mentioned the tools of the spirit hunter. Basically, these are tools that were given to me by the committee. To start off, we have the soul piercer, a vertically double barrel revolver that pierces through most matters of existence and contains limitless amounts of ammunition due to the bullets being the extension of the spirit. So basically, what that means is so long as I remain a spirit, and my soul energy continues to burn. I will never run out of ammunition. And when I said pierces through most matters of existence, I'm not referring to the fact that I have maybe offed a few humans. That was just a disclaimer that they made very clear when the committee handed me such a tool. Anyways, the next tool that I have in my arsenal is the Umbra Sealer, a polearm based on the ancient Korean weapon, Wardo, which roughly translates to Moonblade. Umbra Sealer is meant to cut through any and all forces of opposition. Easier, and even a hot knife through butter. It can also come apart in the middle, more snug. The sheath on my back. Then we have the ethereal compass, a compass that is used to keep track of any and all beings in any state of existence within proximity. Unlike most traditional compasses, the ethereal compass is neurally linked to my eyes. So technically, I never have to take out this compass. So long as I have it on me, I could use it as much as I please. Then of course, the eye of conclusion. A special eye given by the committee that is capable of glimpsing into the infinity of being in existence. Any being in existence, as well as being able to mentally and physically drag said beings into a pocket dimension. One where the rules are set by the beholder of said eye. Often used as a final resort. I bet. When the targets leave no other options of reason available. You might have noticed I have a eye patch. And you might have noticed that eye patch might be covering said eye. You like to see the eye? Why not? It was getting a little itchy. Anyway. So if you don't mind, I think I'm gonna do the rest of the presentation without my iPad. Now, as for likes, to start off the list, I have activities, but these aren't necessarily things I like as much as things I have to do. However, I couldn't fit this anywhere else. So kind of just here. So bear with me if you will. As you already know, ghost hunting is my profession. Then there's keeping the peace both between the realm of the living and the undead. And then there's being clean. You might be able to chalk this up to OCD a little bit. Basically, I can't really focus if I'm dirty or if I feel dirty. So these are things that I kind of have to do. All right. Moving on to the actual likes. Starting off with hobbies. First off, we have bowling pranks, floating, racing through objects and obstacles. If you're a ghost, it's kind of the first thing you kind of master. So I would recommend it, but that would also mean that you would have to technically unalive yourself. So please don't do that. Then there's singing. playing games, watching YouTube videos, watching movies and shows, collecting figures, creative writing, reading, building Gunpla, which is just Gundam model kits, and Legos, mostly Bionicle, but they're pretty pricey now. So I don't think I've built one in a long time. And then there's voice impressions. Unfortunately, I do not have any prepared for you today. But keep an eye out. Or better yet, keep an ear out for the future. Then we have a list of anime that I like. Now by no means every anime that I've ever watched. Or is this in any particular order? However, start off is my favorite anime, which is Violet Evergarden. Then we have Gundam. And this is a show that is technically a mecha anime. And I know that mecha animes aren't popular for whatever reason. But Gundam is quite special. It's a show that's existed since the 1970s, and it's stayed relevant till now, right? So it does seem pretty special, right? And the misconception is that Gundam is a show that has one continuous timeline. Considered the UC timeline that started from the 1970s till now. And if you thought that, you're partially right. But did you know Gundam has an anthology series that is not connected to the UC timeline or to each other. You have your G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam X. Then there's what was it? Seed? Double O. Iron-blooded orphans. And most currently, The Witch from Mercury. Which I highly recommend. Look, despite what you might think, it is a lot of fun. And the stories are still relevant today. So I definitely recommend it. Then we have Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Cowboy Bebop, classic. Ibaku Shonen Hanako-kun, which is toilet-bound Hanako-kun. Quintessential quintuplet. Otoban no Hanayome. Kill a Kill. Quadruple Gridman. Yu Yu Hakusho. Bleach. Neon Genesis. Evangelion. My Dress Up Darling. Sono Biscuitoru wa Koi wo Suru. Spy Family. Jujutsu Kaisen. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. JoJo's. Heion. Utopia. Ahaden-san wa Hakarenai. Akatsuki no Yona. Ochi the Rock. Konosubarashi Sekai ni Shukufuku wo, which is just Konosuba. Lycanus Recoil. Code Geass. Chainsaw Man. Sergeant Frog, which is also referred to as Keta in Korea. Now, I tried to watch the show in English and Japanese, just because the Korean version doesn't air anymore. But both versions don't hit the same notes for me. So it's just a show that I want to rewatch, and I can't. For any reason, if you might have a source to watch the Korean dub for Sergeant Frog, please message me. I just really want to rewatch the show again. Continuing my likes, there are books. Now, before I even start reading the list of books that I have, it's not very long anyways. I actually have a certain goal with books that I want to do. I'll get more into that later. But basically, I got more into reading earlier this year. It was sort of a New Year's resolution. And unfortunately, towards the end, I wasn't quite able to keep track of myself. And preparing all of this kind of made me lose track of time. So. Anyways, starting off, Weathering with You, The Great Gatsby, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, The Last Tycoon, and Fahrenheit 451. Now, with The Great Gatsby and Fahrenheit 451, I'm fully aware that these are school curriculum books, and I probably could have puffed up this piece with more books that I've read in school. But those are books that was forced to read, opposed to going back and reading them because I enjoy the books. So that kind of seems like cheating. So I didn't really include them. However, with The Great Gatsby and The Last Tycoon, both books are written by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I was a big fan of Great Gatsby when I read it, which made me want to go back and reread it. I did. And then The Last Tycoon and Tender as the Night are both works by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Unfortunately, Tender as the Night was not really for me. And The Last Tycoon just kind of barely makes the list here, but it's still enjoyable. As for Weathering with You and I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, I'm fully aware there are animated movies for both. But I highly recommend that you read it if you haven't watched it already. You see, the movies cut a lot of content out, and without the context, the movies just kind of don't feel as special. So I was actually happy that I read them before I watched them. And if you haven't read the books yet, I'd say hold on to reading those books because I have special plans for those books. And if you're a sci-fi fan, why wouldn't you have Fahrenheit 451? Sorry. Why wouldn't you have Fahrenheit 451 on your list? Next is games. First is Final Fantasy. Now I want to do this thing where I stream all sorts of Final Fantasy games to get more people into it because currently there aren't a lot of Final Fantasy fans that I know. So it's just me liking Final Fantasy alone. And that gets kind of boring. This is to appeal to people that aren't really into RPGs, or maybe they don't have the time to play Final Fantasy. So I want to stream these, and it's not like I'm a pro. I've only played maybe one handful of Final Fantasy games, and I do enjoy them. But who knows what that'll be like. Next is BioShock. I enjoyed the first two games, and then this is kind of an unpopular opinion, but I didn't really enjoy Infinite. Now I do prefer the second one over the first, which I think is a controversial take, but just my opinion. Next is Halo, and I enjoyed all of them so far, except 5, because that's trash. Don't play it. I don't think anyone else actually plays it anymore. So thank goodness. Then there's Star Wars KOTOR. Which KOTOR is Knights of the Old Republic. There are two games. And then there's an MMO. But I don't talk about that one. The first two games are amazing. They're also turn-based. So you might not be into that. I prefer. Well, actually, I don't have a preference for either game between the two. I just kind of like both of them. Very much so. Then we have Fallout New Vegas. The best Fallout. Metal Gear Solid 5 because who doesn't like eye patches, right? And there's Red Dead Redemption 2, which I haven't played the first one. I'm guilty of that. But I do enjoy Cowboy Simulator. So okay, I'll be honest. I don't have plans to play the first one. So sorry. Then there's Nier Automata, Nier Replicant, Devil May Cry. I'm a huge fan, by the way. Resident Evil, Tekken, Undertale, the Batman Arkham series, Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, minus the first EA Battlefront. Mortal Kombat, Genshin Impact. Although I'm not gonna stream this, so please don't ask. Then there's Cyberpunk. Now it's ever going to be the game that they ever promised us. But these days they fixed a lot of bugs, and they're continuing to update it. It's definitely worth checking out. And there's Kingdom Hearts. Basically, same thing with Final Fantasy. I want to stream Kingdom Hearts, but I don't know if I can.
I don't know if I can
because
Kingdom Hearts is heavily involved with Disney,
and I don't know how
and I
they
don't
are
know how they are
with
with
legality.
legality.
So if I can stream it,
I will,
but I just don't think that's possible. And there's Minecraft, FPS games, RPG games. But for me, I prefer more hack and slash over turn-based. Indie games, party games with engaging stories and worlds. A bit of fighting games, but I'm not very good. Then we have food. I know I have bread, and that's very general and non-specific. But basically, I don't think I've ever had any bread that I don't like. You see, there's definitely good bread for every sort of mood. So, yeah, bread. And there's burgers. And if you eat your burgers well done, I don't think I respect you. And I don't want to be mean. But why do you do that to yourself? Everyone knows that you need to taste a little bit of blood to enjoy it. Then there's tonkatsu, which is tonkatsu in Korean, or pork cutlets in the West. Then sweets, because I have a insane sweet tooth. All sorts of Korean dishes. But out of those Korean dishes, well, out of just all the food. My favorites are katsudon, which I don't think I need to explain. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what that is at this point. But tteokguk is not a very popular dish. It's a Korean dish that is kind of a thicker broth. It's topped off with cut up bits of rice cakes, green onions, eggs, kim, which is just seaweed, and dumplings. Specifically dumplings or soups, and then it's topped off with your choice of how much salt and pepper you want to put into the broth. I don't know anyone that's ever had this dish outside of Korean people. So you know, if you so happen to not be Korean, and maybe since I've introduced you to a new dish, if you try it, and if you like it, if you hate it, or whatever, just let me know. But if you do hate it, it's okay to be wrong. Just saying. There might be something wrong with your taste buds. I want to end my list of likes with talking about how much I love Kamen Rider. So basically, Kamen Rider is a series that I've been interested in for a long time. I've never had the time to really explore until 2020. That is. Unfortunately, or however you'll want to look at it, I had a lot more time then. I'm pretty sure we all had a lot more time then. And so I took that time to watch the second generation of Kamen Rider. And although I'm not done, because that's a lot of shows, and it's not perfect by any means. It's very entertaining, and please, for the life of me, and for the life of every Tokusatsu fan, please don't compare Kamen Rider and Power Rangers, or Sentai. Kamen Rider is a show where a number of shows I would never show a child unless you want to give them nightmares. Power Rangers though, go ahead, show your kids. I don't care. All right, moving on. Dislikes. Now the first one you might have noticed is working out. Listen, I still do it, but it's not very fun. Not to be confused with sports. Sports are fun because you kind of get rewarded with points for how hard you play, and there's like a good balance for that. But with working out, if I didn't have my music, I don't know if I could really go through with it. And there's repetition.
Specifically, I don't really like doing things over and over again. Specific tasks. If it's necessary, I'll do it. But you know those schedules where they're packed and every day kind of feels the same. Well, each day is not very special, and you kind of lose track of what day it is. Yeah, that sucks. And I hate that. Especially. Then there's stress-induced work. I don't like doing things that make me stressed. I doubt any of you do. But basically, I don't really like when I get a little antsy, and I do when I get stressed when doing things that make me stressed. So don't love that. Then there's being stressed. Which who loves being unfocused, not being able to put out their best work, and having all sorts of thoughts, but not ever being enough. Yeah. Stress sucks. Then there's unnecessary time pressures. Basically, I'm very up to date with deadlines and due dates. So I don't really need someone to tell me when something is due, or when something is about to be due. Because again, I'm very aware. I may ask if I have forgotten, but that's not very common. So please don't do that. Then there's exorcists. Now I've never been to a rave before. Besides the raves I've seen on pretty much YouTube and stuff. But I would assume that exorcists for me are like when your let's say friend goes to a rave and they may not be sober. And they're getting excited with about the finger light shows or whatever. It's kind of like that for me. Except I'm always sober. Well, most of the time. And it's weird. Also, just an FYI. I don't think exorcists know that chanting doesn't quite do anything. Kind of just makes them look like idiots. And it's not scary. So imagine having to deal with that. Also, what's with the markings? Who actually chooses these markings and says, you know what, Fred? This is a good marking. This is gonna scare ghosts. It doesn't. So I don't know. Don't waste your time. Then they're studying stuff that I'm not into. I'm pretty sure everyone's the same. Especially people that go to school. But basically, I think it's a waste of time to be forced to study subjects you're not into. Because let's be honest, you're not going to retain it. So there's that. And then there's narrow-minded individuals. Basically, I'm fully accepting of people that are, you know, very, very strong-headed about certain morals or stances. That's fine. But if you're that individual that kind of doesn't allow for any sort of different opinions or opinions that challenge your own, and just don't kind of open that conversation up. I don't think we're gonna mix like oil and water. Then there's tomatoes and bell peppers. Now I want to preface that tomatoes and bell peppers are fine in other food. But alone, why would you put yourself through that torture? Tomatoes and bell peppers, they look weird. They taste weird. They have a weird texture. And their existence offends me. And I hate them. And I'm not afraid to say that. I don't know. You can like bell peppers, you can like tomatoes, whatever. But don't come near me. Don't come near me with them. I'm not gonna have a good reaction to that. Then there's toxic behavior. I have a no tolerance policy with toxic behavior unless it's for harmful jokes. Harmless jokes. I'm not an advocate for bullying. So again, I guess being toxic to yourself is better than being toxic to others, but it's probably better not to do that either. And then there's metaphysical English. Moving on. There's this is my goals. First off, we have releasing original music. I've been singing for quite some time now. So the next step would technically be to release my own music, right? Then there's reading stream. Now this is the part where I continue to talk a bit more about books. I want to do a series of streams to get more people into reading because when I started reading, I wanted to start by listening to audiobooks. But what I found was a lot of them are very monotone and just boring. No offense. I know that a lot of people put a lot of work into that, but yeah, I just skipped the audiobooks and went straight to reading. I wanna make reading a little bit more fun. I wanna treat it a little bit more like voice acting. You know, just immersing yourself in the character and even having fun narrations. And other people reading with me would be. It's number one. It's allowed. I would really encourage that. And it's just something I want to do. Then there's relaxing, just chatting, or venting together. I want to do streams where you guys feel comfortable enough to talk about what might be bothering you or what's on your mind. Because it sucks when you don't have someone to talk to. So why not have a community where you can talk freely. And for more personal streams, I don't mind making them members only streams. And also for your sake and my sake, let's keep everything that happens in chat in chat. Like it stays in chat and it doesn't go anywhere else. Oh man. I know that you guys are probably going to clip me later for this. Then there's continuing to improve my singing. Now, I'm not a bad singer by any means. I'm not a pro either. And I acknowledge that there's always room for improvement. So there's that. Building up my self-confidence. Making more friends. Getting signed to a company. Right now I'm independent. But I'm not opposed to signing to a company. So long as they can meet a few conditions. Those conditions being if I am able to continue as this character. I'd like to own the rights of this character. And you know. The other condition would be that the contract is pretty fair. Besides that, that's about it. So, if you have an offer for me, I'll definitely check it out. Then there's getting better at game. I mentioned I'm not a pro, right? So I would assume that me getting better would it be a little bit more entertaining for people that watch, right? That progression being not so good to being slightly better. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to put this expectation of me becoming some sort of pro. So then there's learning more about music, and that's more general. Although I would like to learn piano, guitar, specific. Then there's collaborating with other VTubers and content creators. It gets lonely in a school, high school all alone. And it's not like I know a lot of other ghost hunters. So yeah, I'm not opposed to collaborating. Then there's voice acting for shows, movies, games, etc. Now I don't have any professional work with any of that. But you know, if you have something for me, if you think I'd be a good fit, I'll definitely check it out. Then there's improving my Korean. Because again, as much as I know, it's never bad to know more vocabulary. And then there's learning Japanese. Then there's living with existential dread. Basically, it's not fun living life with a lot of this weight on your shoulders. And I assume that a few of you guys can relate. And so I'm hoping that through this community that I can create a sort of space where you can feel more comfortable, and hopefully that makes it more easier for you and me. Sorry about that. Not to get all serious, but I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And then there's connecting with you guys, of course. As for my tags, the fan symbol is a ghost emoticon. Then the general tags would be Hoon. And for my stream tag, it's Hoon line, but it's supposed to be like Hoon online. But I'm not very happy with how the stream tag turned out. So if you have any other suggestions, I'll open up a poll and we'll take a vote. Right? As for my art tag, it's Huname. Meme tag is Hoomer. And band name Hooligans. Which it took me a lot longer than I care to admit to come up with Hooligans. But I'm really happy with the fan name. Then there are my socials. You can find me under Ghostly Hoon on Twitter, YouTube and Reddit. Twitch and Reddit. But for YouTube, you can find me under the Hoon channel. Which, if you're watching this, you probably already know. Then, moving on to character design. The very early concept design was designed by Starmom08. You can find them on Twitter. And basically, he and I talked back and forth what I wanted from my design. And I suggested all these crazy ideas. But he never once said that they were impossible. And we really just talked through it. I feel like he helped me kind of simplify the design because if I had my way, it would probably have become a bit more of a very specific and very overly detailed character model. So thanks for that. Also, I have to give him credit for coming up with the weapons. I actually didn't have any plans for the weapons. We really talked about it, and they came apart. They came to be. Then that early character design went to Hadokuma, and you can find them on Twitter as well. She did a lovely job, basically taking what Starmom did and improving the design and making it more, I guess more Live 2D-ish, right? And originally I had a different character. Well, I had a different person do the character model sheet. But I had to drop work with them because they were requesting that I pay them 2,000 for a character model sheet, which I think is very unreasonable. So I kind of found Hadakuma on a whim, but I'm very glad I did. She's very nice. She was very responsive, and she kind of just knew what she was doing. So yeah. Then the person that did the profile picture was banned or SkyMole01. You find them on Twitter and Pixiv. At this time, the character model sheet wasn't done. So SkyMole or banned actually had to work off of what Starmom had. And originally, he said that he was a little concerned because he hadn't drawn a lot of high characters before. But I've been a fan for a while, and I had full confidence that he could do it. So this was the end result. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Then of course, all of this went to Watari Tuna or Watari Mama, who did the live 2D rigging and modeling. I never had experience with live 2D rigging or modeling, and just messing with a live 2D model. So at first I was struggling quite a bit, but she really helped me talk me through the processes. And at first I was having trouble syncing up with the model, but she really helped me out. And because of her, I think the results speak for themselves. All right. This is the last slide, which is credits. I've mentioned Starmom 08. I've mentioned Hadakuma, Watari Tuna, and Band or SkyMole. But who I haven't mentioned is Frederick Smork. You can find them on Twitter. They did the trailer for my debut, and I wanted something simple. And at first, it took a while for us to really sync up with what we wanted. But I thought it turned out really well. And he was very kind, and never once complained about having to do some revisions. And overall very professional. So if you need someone to do really any VTuber stuff, but specifically for me, I recommend him for videos like this. Yeah, give him a lot of love. And support. Then there's I hope I'm announcing this right. But there's Anti-Vibu on Twitter. No, my bad. Fiverr, who did the stream overlays. And actually, I didn't have to say too much. I provided him with what was necessary to get the work done. And he never really asked any questions. But the results were so amazing that I just kind of took it. I feel like he really understood what the theme of the character was. So yeah, I don't know. If you want to be blown away, I recommend this guy. Then there's VTuber Designer, who did the lovely transition that you might have seen. And she was a lot of let's say fun to work with. She did a lot of revisions. Never once complained. And she was very friendly. She asked me how I was doing and everything. And the transition is perfect. I don't think I would have gotten anyone else. So give her a lot of love and support too. Then I apologize in advance if I butcher this. There's Jakik on Fiverr. They did the thumbnail for the stream actually. And I didn't have to tell him too much. And kind of delivered what I wanted immediately. And I just didn't know what to say. It's funny because what I wanted in my head, he had kind of just delivered it. So talk about a weird coincidence. Anyways, if you need any thumbnail work, I recommend him. Then there's Shirokuro, who did the room design, which you will see in a bit. And you can find them on Fiverr as well. He asked for a few details on what I wanted, and then what he delivered really blew my mind. Because not only did it really capture what I had in mind, but just overall he made the atmosphere and the room fit well together and fit well with the character. Then there's Liquid GTX, who is on Fiverr, and he did the banners on all my socials. And I thought that the choice that he decided to take was absolutely amazing. There's a lot of stained glass motif in the banners, and I just thought, wow, you saw the eye, and then you came up with this. Surely that's next level skills. And then last but not least, there's a Casfall, who goes by Levi. And you have to spell his name exactly to find him. They don't usually do BGMs, but he and I had a nice conversation, and he said that he'd make an exception. So it worked out in the end. I wouldn't recommend commissioning him for BGMs. But if you have any music that you want to commission, it's definitely the person to go to. And the BGM's not done yet. From what I've heard, I really enjoy it. And once I end up using it, I'm pretty sure you guys will notice. But I'll let you guys know. You could also find his single under Levi again on any of the streaming music platforms, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, and then the song is called In Case I Don't See You, and it's pretty refreshing and nice and different. So also give him a lot of love and support. Basically, give everyone here a lot of love and support. They deserve it. They worked really hard. And if I could work with them again, I definitely would. And if I could possibly just get them one more new customer. I'd love to do that. For them. For how much they helped me, and honestly, this wouldn't any of this would not have been without their work and help. So okay. All right. If you have any questions, or I don't know, whatever you want to ask now, please feel free to ask. Ask now. Besides that, this is a good time to take a good look at one of the stream overlays done by Anti-VBoot. It's a Oh, yeah, I can see my chat. Sorry. I was in full screen, and I only have one monitor. So I wasn't able to see the chat until now. Unfortunately. Sorry. Yeah. Did you know that the hat is actually removable? Oh, sorry. That's my eye patch. And here is my hair. Yeah. me a second. Give me a second. You said there's a bit of echoing. Let's see. Did that do the trick? I hope so. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I didn't know at first how the design would come out, but I'm really happy with how it turned out and everything. And you know, I thought it was crazy at first when I had the idea of a stained glass eye, that motif, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, that's probably the craziest thing. Yeah. Can you zoom in? I want to see the eye. Oh, that's for the next slide. Right now it's just for questions, and then I'll definitely show off more assets and the model next slide, as well as showing off the room. All right. Well, if there's no real questions left, I'll just move on to the next slide. To answer your question, Star Mom, or Starboy, I guess in this case, I am completely able to use the, which I'll showcase now. So, this is I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Oops. Hope this is okay. But yeah, here's the eye. You know what? I'll zoom in even more. Haha. So again, here's the eye, and it's mesmerizing, but you probably shouldn't stare too long at it. And here, I'm going to show off some, alrighty, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Face expression. Now, I was blessed enough to get about 3 other face expressions because of, Batari Mama, so here's the first one, which is despair. And if you guys give me a hard time, or if I'm stressed, I guess this will be the go-to expression. I enjoy the spirit leaving the body because you're giving me such a hard time. Please don't give me a hard time, please. And then there's the so it's not like I'm thankful or anything that you guys made it to the stream or anything, but dang. Yeah. And then there's the dark expression. So you might have seen me do this earlier, but yeah, it no, I'm not I promise I'm not. But basically you might have seen earlier with my hat and my eye patch that I did this, right? When I go and I want to say prank because haunting doesn't sound quite right, and I'm not mean, I promise. I really like to do cool pranks. So this is usually how I look when it's not copium, okay? It's okay. Oh god. Basically, this look at night may terrify some folks, especially with the other eye exposed. I don't really expose this eye because again, it's kind of a final resort thing. As pretty as it is, it's still technically a tool. So yeah, don't stare too long into it. Do me a favor and don't, because if you fall into a sort of pocket dimension, I can't really help you. Well, I can, but it's very annoying to do so. So please don't make me do extra work. Okay? Now I will show off some of the weapon assets. All right. Oh, this might be too far. Whoop. All right. First off, I want to show off the Soul Piercer. I talked a lot about it earlier. So without further ado, here it is. As I said, a vertically double barrel revolver. And what you might not have noticed is that there's a little keychain, a ghost keychain on the bottom, which is my mascot. I don't have a name for my mascot right now, but if you have any suggestions, I'm not really opposed to any name suggestion. Yeah. Sorry. This might seem a little threatening, and I promise not to shoot if you don't give me a reason to. I'm joking, because if I did that, I'd probably be banished from the spirit realm. So, but it's menacing, right? You don't like having this gun pointed at you, right? Right? I'll put it away, just for the sake of not scaring anyone out. Okay, and now the only weapon left to show you is the Umbra Sealer. Before I show you the Umbra Sealer, in my breast pocket here, you might have noticed that this is the compass, the gold circle. I'm gonna zoom back in a little bit. On my name tag, I don't have full recollection, like I said, of my memories. So it's just Hoon here. It's supposed to be longer, I suppose, but I wouldn't be able to tell because, again, I don't have memories of all of my memories of my past, and unfortunately, my name didn't quite make that cut. So there's that. Just a little cape here with the chain and the, I don't know, I just felt a little fancy. This is my old school uniform that I've repurposed, and I may have different uniforms. Well, it's all the same uniform, but I have more than one of the same. And then here's my compass. All right, I rambled enough. I'm going to show you the Umbra Sealer. The belt buckle, by the way, is my logo. Okay, there it is. Bam! Right? It's very ethereal. And it's got this look because it's run by my soul energy. So, kind of always ignited. It's kind of like, for the lack of a better reference, and for the lack of a better analogy, it's kind of like a lightsaber, I guess, in that sense. I wouldn't recommend touching the blade straight on, because you might burn your soul. Not yourself, not your physical body, but your soul will burn. Very, very excruciating pain. Please don't do that. But if I want to take a bit more of a less menacing approach with my weapon, I would just put it above my shoulder, like this. You know? Not so menacing now, right? You know, I might bring this to a picnic, and you might say, hey, why do you have that? But I'm not threatening anyone, so I hope it's okay. I mean, it's not a ball or a frisbee, so we can't throw this around, and yeah. But yeah, those are my tools. And earlier I mentioned that I have a large figure collection. I'm not really ashamed of that, as you can see, both on my desk, on my shelves, and the shelf here. I have a lot of figures, and I'm not really gonna slow down anytime soon. But it's also nice to have a TV. And these candles, don't worry, they're lit by ethereal flames, spirit flames, so they don't actually burn the same realm as the realm of the living. So it's completely safe, and it won't hurt you. But I can't teach you how to light these candles. Sorry. No, they're not lit by souls. I promise they're not. I'm not evil. I'm kind of like a overglorified cop, if you will. I put the bad guys away. I'm not in charge here. I just do what the committee tells me. Unless it's some mass atrocity. They don't. As far as I know, the committee and I aren't in real close talking terms, so I can't really quite tell you what they're scheming or what they're planning, but I assume that they're good people. They're nice enough to trust a high schooler with all these tools, right? Well, okay, so I've been around for a few decades, so technically, yes, I'm young, but to you guys, I'm maybe a bit older. But, here, time works differently, so I'm kind of always 18. So, yeah. Okay, well, if nothing else, I think that will be my time today. Thank you for checking out my stream. I don't have any games planned for today. I'm not gonna stream because I'm still fighting a little bit of a cold. So there's that. And basically, I will put up my schedule later. But did you want to say something? Sometime next week. It's Christmas this weekend, so I'm going to kind of take it easy, let my cold kind of get better first, and then start streaming again. The first game I'm going to stream, to keep it more within the theme, I'm going to stream Fatal Frame. I'm not a spoiler alert. I'm not very good with horror, and I'm not very good with I know this sounds ironic, but I'm not very good with spirit horror, like ghost horror, but we'll prevail. And please don't make fun of me if I scream or anything. This is just part of the... Look, I know that this is technically it's probably how students feel when and staff feel when I prank them, but it's all in good fun. Most of those spirits, they're trying to kill people, right? So I'm not trying to kill anyone. I'm not. I'm just a little harmless prank. It never hurt anyone. I never gave anyone a heart attack or anything. So please don't assume that I scared someone to death or anything, or that I'm doing it with the intentional bad purposes of being evil or any of that. And don't compare me to ghosts from those games, because I'm not evil, okay? Yes, Tony. Gun is behind me now, okay? No, I'm not taking it out again. I don't want to not purposely, but accidentally, fire said gun. Hey, I'm not evil, okay? I'm not evil. I'm not, okay? I'm a good boy. I'm a good, soul hunter, okay? I do you a service, okay? Because of me, there's less souls floating around doing their business and being all scary like, and maybe, getting rid of other humans. I'll have you know that I'm the best soul hunter around. Okay, I'm very trigger disciplined. That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do an accidental pew. No, that won't be happening. Also, since I could stop the bullets mid shot technically, because again, they're my soul energy. So if I don't want to impact, if I don't want it to have impact, I can control that too, as well as how strong the blast is. Safety, exactly. Hey, what's mid about that? I'm not saying that I would haunt you, but if I could haunt you, I would. Okay? Alright, well, yeah. That's my time. Thank you for coming and checking me out. Alright? Well, bye-bye.